You're listening to the ReachCast show, your weekly stop for the latest and greatest in the PlanetSide 2 universe and its community.
Welcome, everybody. It is October 28th, and you are listening to episode 57 of the ReachCast show. We are proud members of the Abraxas Global Network and the Podcast Network. I'm your host, Adam, aka Torkz. With me tonight, my returning champion that is clicking his mouse a lot. It's Tom, aka Noxx.
You could hear me clicking my mouse?
Yeah, your mouse is very loud.
Oh, jeez. Hello.
And joining us, in place of Derringer for this week, is Mr. Odin's Pride, aka Scott. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing just fine. Thanks for having me, guys.
Anytime, man. Anytime. You are a welcome replacement for Derringer for this week.
Yeah, really. I mean, we just didn't need Derringer and I fighting about the World Series, so...
Yeah. I mean, Derringer loses, we win.
That's all right.
We did not have an hour-long debate on baseball.
Yeah, I'm a Cubs fan, so you can talk baseball all you want, and I'll just cry in a corner. It's all right.
This week we're brought to you by the Derringer and Noxx / Torkz baseball rivalry, and also by great listeners like you via the Sports Show tab, as you've already heard. We played with 666, and I played with some Goater this week, so that was good. For this show, we have some PTS Patch notes, a rant, some WDS victory talk, and some other stuff for OMFG. So, let's get to it.
I'm going to get these mosquitoes in the air and rain down some hellfires on these fools. Oh no! What the fuck? I should have listened to the ReachCast patch notes.
Alright, guys. I believe it was the 23rd. We saw a patch come to the PTS with the performance enhancements that have been made. This includes performance changes of all kinds, and there's too many to list. This is what they said. I'm not cutting them out myself. They didn't list them all, but I think they will list them all come its release to live. But UI related, their centralized HUD has been redesigned with a new look to increase performance, so you can check that out by clicking centralized HUD mode in your checkbox, general centralized HUD mode checkbox in the general settings. And they've renamed, this one confused me how it helped performance, but it does. They've renamed the warp gates to geographical names so that you will now see Indar Northern Warp Gate instead of Indar TR Warp Gate. So that's kind of interesting, but I guess not having to choose which empire owns it helps performance, and that's what we like. Every tiny little thing.
There's another TR nerf coming down the pipe.
Yeah. Anything with TR in the name gets taken out. That's
yeah, or it's OP. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm
so we have...
biased.
I don't blame you, man. We got some bug fixes also. They fixed an issue with resupply and repair some of these icons not displayed within 100 meters of the vehicle. I'm assuming that's probably to do with a change they're talking about OMFG as well. They fixed AV turrets at West Highlands checkpoints no longer be floating, so that's interesting.
Man, I missed that one.
They also fixed some floating turrets at the Stronghold, so I never saw those, but hey, that's interesting.
Missing out, I guess.
Yeah. They removed some erroneous pain fields around Endar. Apparently they just happened in the middle of fields or in some ravine somewhere and he just died. I don't know.
I wish I'd experienced that.
I never remember seeing any erroneous pain fields, but who knows? I don't know what that means, so.
That's like the spawn room pain field, I imagine.
I didn't know those were erroneous, though. I mean, like...
Well, no, but it sounds like they're just in random spots.
Gotcha. Yeah, I would love to see that. Anyways, fixed an issue with two projectiles would sometimes be visible when firing a recon device, only when there's one fired. So, they would see two blinks instead of one, I guess. And they fixed an issue with lower ranks of Sunder proximity repair. So, let's see here.
You couldn't repair a Sunder that had a higher rank of repair than you did.
Yeah, it's, I'm sorry, I was looking at something, there's some cutting his
You're watching the baseball game, aren't you?
No, I would never do that. Go on to the next one.
Alright, so there are some major known issues that they listed off here, and this is not an exhaustive list, but they're turning around a lot of bugs every day, and these are major outstanding ones. SLI and crossfire hitches. You may want to turn off SLI or crossfire for the moment, as there are some performance hitches they're working on. Minimum spec PCs. If you have the bare minimum or very close to, you may still experience significant performance issues. GPU particles, which has been a problem for a while now, they still cause cosmetic anomalies, performance issues, and crashing. So turn them off for now. And video capture may cause performance issues, but feel free to test it and send information based on what you see.
Alrighty. They're asking also that the community helps them test on PTS. So if you can get your people on PTS, sorry, my throat's going. If you can get your people on PTS and test some large scale battles, it really helps SOE kind of fix any problems they're having with this optimization patch. So if you want to see the optimization patch in live sooner, I would suggest getting your people on PTS and testing it and helping SOE figure out the problems. So that's the short of it.
Dread Legion, we've been running on the test server the last few days. We've had better battles on the test server than on live. It seems it's good fun.
Derringer was actually telling me that lots of people have been playing on it.
Yeah, it's the most active I've seen it in a while, and I got to tell you, it's the people that play on there are pretty good, and it's a lot of good fun.
It's awesome to see that. I've heard that a lot of more parts of the active community are getting on the PTS to play, so that's good to hear. I'm hoping that SOE takes whatever feedback they're getting from that, and they get this thing pushed out. That's all I hope. All right, on to your stuff, Noxx.
All right, so there's stability. They want you to test. If you crash, please let them know in a bug report what you were doing before you crashed. And then everything else. They've made core changes to the game that could have caused just about anything. We've already found and fixed a ton of these. They've already found. I'm just reading by accident. And they're surely missing some. So, yeah, let them know. And then frame rate smoothing option. This is a new option. It's a checkbox that's going to smooth your frame rate. And they would like you guys to test it. If you don't want to deal with performance spikes, good and bad, I guess it's just going to kind of average things out. I don't know exactly what that would do, but
I can tell you
Did you try it?
That I did. Yeah, I can tell you firsthand that the day before we did on Saturday, when they did their the patch, I was running in and I was getting hiccups, those lag spikes. I was going from 50 to 0 probably every 30 seconds or a minute. It was almost unplayable, and I was really worried because we had a big scrim coming the next day. And then all I did was I clicked the smoothing option the next day and had one issue the entire time. Now that could potentially be because we didn't have as many people in the hex or whatnot, but I can tell if you're on a PC like mine, which I would call mid-level at best, because I run on a laptop, then you'll definitely want it, because there's nothing worse than being in a harasser trying to kill someone and then you don't see anything for 10 seconds. So definitely try it out. I would recommend it, but that's just on my PC. I think that everything's going to be kind of personal preference.
Interesting. Well, yeah, cool. Take his word, because I haven't tried it.
Instead of going from 50 to 0 and then 0 to 50, I kind of leveled out at about 35 to 40, and that's in like 24, 48 battles. And so, I'd much rather have that, so I'm not trying to shoot a max, and, then all of a sudden he's behind me 5 seconds later. That's never fun. So, yeah. So, personally, I'd recommend it, but if you're getting stable frame rates already and you don't have those hiccuping issues, then it's probably not going to, do anything for you.
I'll be testing on PTS tomorrow night, so we'll find out. I've been looking forward to checking that out. They also asked that if you're going to report bugs on PTS, use the in-game reporting. So hit your escape button, go to your report a bug. It helps them, I guess it's the easiest way for them to take in the feedback, so that's what they suggest.
They had forums written down, and they said to make them clear and concise, but I think the bug reporting is more preferred.
Yeah, that's the way it sounds. And then BioLab Changes. So
Ooh,
Well,
let's hear
a
all
lot
about
of
it.
them.
I just looked at it today.
Yeah.
After seeing Louis' tweet about it, the 40 Deuce, our good friend Louis, he had said something about wanting to talk about BioLab Changes. It's like, oh, I should get checked out. And then Odin reminded me after I had downloaded it. I still forgot to check, and I checked, and it's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
You definitely have to rethink some strategies.
Yeah, so there's the main spawn room is like a normal looking spawn room, but then you have to run up the stairs. You can't exit. All the doors are shut. You have to run up the stairs to the top level where no one ever goes normally, basically. Teleport to the vehicle bay. Then you have to run across the vehicle bay and teleport into a little... Basically, what's your normal, like, average outdoor spawn room in Indar or any other place, with the guy that has the overhang and everything, and you have to get up there, and then you're in the biolab because
it's going to take probably an extra. Yeah, we timed it. It takes an extra at least 30 to 45 seconds to get from the spawn to the actual biolab itself.
Well,
so
and I know it is good
every time you die. So medics are going to be, vitally important because you're not going to have any spawn beacons either. So, I mean, it's medic player bust at this point. So stay with your squads, guys.
I think it's good. I know the big complaint is people would take the gen, take down the spawn generator, but they would just max crash out because it was right there and it was way too easy to counter defend. Yeah. And this seems like a really good thing. So it'll be interesting. I think you were talking about we had talked about a bit about this before the show, and you had mentioned some ideas with Sunrise.
Yeah, I was saying. I mean, think of the biolabs that have those vehicle generators. I mean, if the vehicle gen goes down, then you can basically just splash damage everything that goes through the bottom there. Now, I'm not saying that was only on Aladdin that I saw those changes. I'm not sure if they're implementing it for every single one. But, I mean, think of what a couple of gate diffuse Sundays can do, just like essentially blocking the spawn room. You got to kill those Sundays and you can get a couple Furies going, just spam that thing.
It almost seems a little too good.
Yeah, like, it does. I'm like, so you're saying my 24 guys can just essentially spawn camp everyone that comes through that teleporter?
Well, and then set up a bunch of NG turrets and everything.
Yeah, I mean, tell me how that's not going to cause so much grief. Oy.
It just means biolabs will be taken in 10 minutes every time.
I don't know what they're going to do with that. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be spouting off all these strategies now. I'm going to, eat my words. I'm going to have,
Oh, people would have figured it out. You're not.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm not the smartest person on Araxis, so it's only a matter of time.
Then there's the overhangs over the teleport rooms.
I can't wait to see the response to this. That's going to be.
There's going to be a lot of grief one way or the other. You're going to either love it.
Change, but I think it's for the better.
I think you're going to love it or you're going to hate it. But either way, you got to deal with it. I think that's for some. They've added a whole lot more barriers. They've closed some doors. They've opened others. They've made some points more defensible. They've opened up a couple of more. So I mean, there's no. The general strategies that you've been using up until now may or may not be viable anymore. So, I mean, you might have to, if you're one of those outfits that actually cares about that kind of thing in general strategies, then you're probably going to have to rethink some of them.
Oh, boy. Okay.
More work for us. But it keeps things fresh, I mean, people are talking about content, not doing the same thing over and over and over again. So, I mean, this is something new. You gotta adapt to it. That's something to look forward to.
It's kind of like new content. I tend to agree. It'd be interesting to see people break up strategies for this now that it is a change. So that's good.
It definitely seems like it's going to turn the biolab from not being a massive choke point to being something you can actually take now, though.
Yeah. I wonder if they're gonna change the. I honestly don't remember, but I wonder if they're gonna change the countdown timer to be a little bit longer to account for that as well, since they've made it a little bit more attacker friendly. If they're gonna lengthen it so you don't take it in like 2 minutes or anything anymore, that'll be something to be I don't know. I should, because I've been fighting in BioLabs, but I honestly didn't. I was so busy trying to kill everybody or make sure my max didn't go down or anything like that. So I'm terrible caster. I'm so sorry. Terrible reporter. I'm giving you half the information and making you look it up yourself.
Oh, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with making people do some work.
Let's get on.
Like a Twitch stream, so like we have 50 people going online and checking for us, and then they do a ground reporting.
That would be fabulous.
Yeah, we just sound smart because we're the ones talking.
Community briefing time.
Attention, soldiers! Get your butts in here for this week's community briefing.
Oh my goodness. It's a good thing your thing chops out silence.
I need to know who that guy is. I need to know who
WDS. I'm not going to lie, I was looking at the baseball game, zoned
You're
out.
killing me.
ADD mode here. Alright, WDS, that World Domination Series. The Vanu won.
They won preseason, or season 1, I think they called it, but...
Well,
I think
they
they called it the
for the whole
preseason.
season?
They called it the preseason.
They won the whole preseason?
Yes.
Come back for the ages. Come on, TR. Enough fighting like TR.
Yeah. I noticed that as soon as the stats were changed and how the points were collected, the Vanu all of a sudden took a dramatic point lead.
We were talking about, Noxx and I were talking about that in the pregame here, that, I was, there was a thread as soon as the WDS came out that for the first couple weeks in TR were just stomping all over everything in terms of the scoring. And I was a part of, there's this thread on the SOE forums, which, to be honest, SOE forums, you could take the bad with the good, but it was just awfully toxic thread. Just nothing good coming out of it. Everybody was just griefing. And, it got to the point where Malorn, one of the devs, actually got on there and said, guys, calm down, really. It got that bad. And it was funny because, TR had 40% over the first 3 weeks. And then they came out with two things. They came out with the warp gate rotation, which gave the TR the TR had the northern warp gate, and then they switched over and they did the scoring changes, which, did things for the population imbalance and changed, how things were scored and stuff like that. As soon as that happened, then you saw things even out, and then, the VS actually, the VS had the northern warp gate, and you saw the VS start pulling ahead. So, and that thread just died off the map,
So
because
does
people
Indar really dictate it, though? Because you're talking Indar, right?
Well, yeah, it's not, they changed the warp gates on all three continents, but each continent has a
So
better,
if you have the northern warp gate on Indar, you have the good warp gate on another continent.
Well, not necessarily.
We were talking about this last week. Is that northern warp gate presents a lot a territory advantage on Indar.
Yeah, you can take basically half the map without having to work too hard. But
so I've counted. There's actually the same number of territories. They're just easier to take.
Yeah, you can hold. I've done the math because I care way too much about this game. But you can actually hold half of 53% of Endar if you hold 5 bases. Just the way the lattices work out. I'm not gonna, people can figure it out themselves. But if you hold 5 bases, you can just stay at those bases and hold 50% of the continent indefinitely. Just the way the lattices work out. But it was funny that, that thread, because all it was saying, the population imbalance, was killing this game, and, the TR OP because of blah, 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 and as soon as they implemented those changes, everybody shut up. It was crazy to see. And, and it turns out, all props to the Vanu. They pulled it out by the end, but, I think people, one, need to be a little bit more patient, and two, I think that, they don't have the stats, they don't have all that data that the devs have, and on the face of it, it may look like one thing, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the actual truth. So I think if we give them the benefit of the doubt, sometimes then it might work out. And the WDS is a perfect example. They saw the same things we saw, and they had the data to back up, so they knew what changes needed to be made. And, once they made those changes, things actually started looking like, looking a little bit more even.
Well, here's the real question then. If the warp gate you own for the competition matters so much, do you rotate it 3 times before the competition's over when it's real?
I think they were
preseason. You'd have to.
They were talking about when the WDS is going on, and I could be wrong, but I think I read somewhere that they were saying that when they're doing the WDS, that they want to make sure that either they switch it weekly or what have you. But yes, just to what you said is that you make sure each faction has the same time frame at each warp gate, like the northern warp gate at Endar, for example. So make sure every faction has the same amount of time, on that northern warp gate. So, because obviously, everybody can look at the map and see that, it is somewhat of an advantage. So that is one of the things that they said that they were going to change as well. I think Malorn was the one that said it. I could be wrong. I could be.
Yeah, he's the one taking care of that.
I was going to say, I could be misquoting it. If I'm misquoting you, Malorn, I totally apologize. I think I'm right, though. So we'll see. Feel free to tweet at me and tell me I'm a total dork and don't know what I'm talking about. That's fine. Dread Legion. Good. Dread Legion. That's fine. Shameless plug. It's all right.
It's all good. All right.
It's the end again.
Operation Make Faster Game is next, and I broke it down in very short. Basically, okay, there's motorcycle riding at the beginning. It's T-Ray saying hi. He then kicks over to Chad Lichty, which talks about LODs. So LODs are level of design, and everything you see within 30 meters does this. Everything you see within 40 meters to 100 does this. Everything 100 and more plus does this. So apparently, he's the animations lead, or one of the animations designers, and they're changing a lot of those flows, I guess what do you call it, networks, for those levels of view. So if you see somebody underneath 30, they've changed it, they've optimized it. He didn't say exactly how, but I guess they've cut out a lot of the unnecessary amounts past 100 meters. I'm assuming that changes a lot of what needs to be rendered or done so that it increases optimizes your viewing past 100 meters for all the people on the game. So obviously that would make a large increase. So he talked about that. And they kicked over to Joe Hall. Joe Hall is one of the effects specialists. I don't remember his title. He's talking about they've optimized explosions. So there used to be 35 emitters per explosion. Now that's down 30%. So you can do the math. The explosions still look really good, but they're optimized so that explosions don't just wreck your FPS, I guess.
I was just going to say, I wonder if that means the really long-range explosions are going to look like old-school FPS, where, like, regardless of where you rotate, you see the same thing.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
It's like a 2D model that just rotates with you, like Doom.
Yeah, I do remember what you're talking about. And then the last thing is that Chad Lichty gets on his motorcycle and he splits lanes in LA. And
well, you're allowed to do that there.
It's true. You are. And I wish him the best. Hope he doesn't get
like a fun ride.
Yeah. He had a Harley. I want to say it's Harley Sportster. So I hope you wish you the best, sir. Hope you live another number of years. On to the community question for the week. So last week we asked, what do you think the special anniversary surprise for November will be? To kind of recap, T-Ray on Command Center said, we have a special anniversary surprise for you for November. It's going to go all month long. It's been something you've been wanting forever. And Higby kind of shook his head and his hair kind of flew around. So we asked you guys that last week and we had a shitload of answers, like across the board on Reddit, official forums, and PSU. There's answers all over the place. They varied anywhere from...
Did the ones you list these here, are these like in order of popularity?
No, those are just some I picked out.
I was going to say, because number 4 is pretty awesome.
No, you're like... So PS4 and PC cross-platform servers, that might be the surprise. New vehicles... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you can list them and then we can talk about them or however you want to do it. That's fine.
Oh, that's fine, yeah. New vehicles, Galaxy updates, free hugs from Higby, server transfer tokens, decals, weather, better nights, double or triple station cash, new weapons, faction holidays, buffs, nerfs, and everything else in between. I mean, you guys came up with the spectrum. It was everywhere. And I have to say, Elite Eskimo on the official forums had a really good write-up, but aside from that, your signature is the longest signature I've ever seen in my life. And it's funny, too. It talks about what they should do to Galaxies to fix the game. The entire breakdown of what they should do to Galaxies in this dude's signature.
Hey, he won a dog tag. Did he ever get it?
I don't know.
Oh, man.
I don't know.
One of the ones I, like...
I can't keep track of every single one of them.
I had my to-do list for, like, 2 or 3 months, and then I was like, dude, can you send these? Because I'm never going to do it.
I sent out the ones you sent over to me, so he should have gotten it. All right.
Sweet.
So what do you guys think about this special surprise, and what do you think about some of the answers we got?
I'll let Odin.
Well, I can officially, and I mean, this is just what I know, but I specifically asked, I tweeted at Smed and asked, are we going to see the cross-platform servers? Am I going to be able to play, PlanetSide with my PlayStation Network friends and vice versa? And he tweeted back, actually a pretty good response. He said, no, for any number of reasons. One of them was aim assist. I mean, there are plenty of reasons that he mentioned, but from his own mouth, he said no, that there weren't going to be any cross-platform servers.
Aim assist is a huge
and that was probably a couple months ago when they actually announced that it was going to be a title on the PS4. So things may have changed, but as far as I know, all the information points to no.
Yeah,
for multiple reasons. Yeah.
Are there any games
free hugs from Hivby? I don't know. Is that going to be like an e-card or I don't know how that's going to work.
It'll be an e-card with his arms open.
Yeah.
For a hug.
And has like scruffy beard and like his hair.
So the actual quote from T-Ray was, it's something that we've been asking for forever and a day, stuff like that.
I think I know what it is.
I think the double triple station cache probably sounds pretty decent.
I don't think it'll be that,
because we haven't had that in a while.
See, I don't think it'll be that because they have Christmas coming up for that, and that would cover all games. I initially said that, I think, but I was like, no. More
cover the holidays, maybe.
So I think it'll be BFRs. I'm totally joking.
I don't think it'll be BFRs.
I think my real answer is a new like Alpha Squad sort of XP bonus thing that'll be coming out. A 6-month bonus.
I think we're all gonna get Christmas cards from T-Ray.
I think it's gonna be
with him in his little like holiday sweater.
Here's your Christmas card.
Yeah. You have like his holiday sweater on with his reindeer, and with like a tie over the top for no reason.
I think
wears ties all the time.
A 6-month boost.
I really hope it is a 6-month boost.
6-month boost.
All right, community clash time.
Prepare yourselves. This is the PlanetSide 2 Community Clash.
Alrighty, PlanetSide 2 Community Clash. Noxx, you there?
I am here.
You are there, okay. So anyways, we're having a meeting tomorrow, that being Tuesday, October 29th. All right.
Or yesterday, if this doesn't get out till
anyways, we're having a meeting October 29th at 8 CST. If you or your outfit are interested in kind of giving input on what you think the new rules for the game should be, or the scoring system, then please feel free to attend that. It'll be on the TeamSpeak for PlanetSide Universe. So hit me up on Twitter or anywhere else. We have contact info here if you'd like to participate. Hoping the show is up tomorrow early so you guys can hear this.
Have you been tweeting this out too, though?
I have been. I've been tweeting this out.
At least the Twitter followers get to know one more reason to follow us on Twitter.
Yeah, we usually do a lot of our stuff on Twitter. It's usually the easiest way for us to communicate with a lot of you guys, along with like Reddit and stuff. Twitter does like very rarely go down. Yeah, like our website does sometimes, apparently. With that being said, let's go to the ReachCast research lab. So we haven't heard that one in a while.
I thought I would combine a little of this with a little bit of this. Yes, Yes! I'm going to create the ultimate force.
Please equip your personal shield unit before entering the ReachCast Research Labs.
Well, I was waiting for that to end. It took a while. But I have a little bit of a rant, and I don't really know where to put it, but I put it in Research Labs because it's kind of, like, in an odd way, research. But basically, it's why I don't play PlanetSide 2 often, and why I keep playing League of Legends. And really, I could say the same thing if I was playing Counter-Strike instead of League of Legends, or maybe some other games, but those are the two that I relate to the most. And basically, to start off, I'm a competitive gamer, be it against other people or with myself, and my desire to get better at a game. I will compete with how I performed the time I played before. If I don't perform better than I did previously, I get upset with myself. I mean, I'm not like raging or anything. Well, I might be raging, but I'm not like crying over anything.
Picture you in your chair punching yourself like in your junk. Like,
but I
so
get frustrated. I'm like, I was able to do that last time. Why didn't I do it this time? Is it hard? And it's just something I'm going to have to practice, or what? But anyways, so I haven't played PlanetSide until Saturday, in probably close to 4 weeks. And while I was playing, I kind of had this realization, why have I not been playing this game? Like, I have a good time. Every time I play PlanetSide, I have fun. I enjoy playing the game. I like the game. I would quit the podcast if I didn't like the game. And so why do I not log in? And basically, I don't have a sort of means there's no incentive for me to log in, because whether I log in 4 weeks later or a day later, my performance, I don't have any way of gauging if I'm getting better or worse at the game, and honestly, I perform about the same every time. And so and it's not that I'm not trying to say that I'm not even very good. That's the thing, is I do pretty crappy. But I don't have a means of saying, all right, I was able to do this last time, let me do it this time, other than KDR, or score per minute, which is so highly dependent on the squad you're in. Are you getting medic reses? Are you the situation you're in? Are you defending a base where you're outnumbered 2-1? And that's kind of something that makes me go into some more like metagame almost, which is where lopsided fights make gameplay feel meaningless, where you're in this fight, and whether you're on the winning or losing side, there's very few moments where you look back on that fight and be like, we would have lost if I didn't do that. And if I didn't make that one decision or go get that, like, if 100 people are fighting, the chances you didn't get that generator, the chances that someone else getting it are extremely high. And so, like, there's very few moments where you go, I made an effective difference on the battlefield here. There's so many people, it's very hard to feel effective. And so basically in League of Legends, when I play that, I can look back at a game and I can say, all right, I might have lost this game, but did I play my role better than I did last time? Did I play my role as I'm supposed to? Did I win my lane? Did I get my objectives? There's lots of objectives in League of Legends. There's turrets, there's specific minion, like neutral creeps to get, there's ganking, there's a lot of different, like, sort of metagame about the game. And yeah, it's a much more mature game, so that plays a role in that, because I played, like, I played it basically on release, and the game is amazingly different to how it was then. But it still had that same sort of, like, did I do my job? Did I get better? Did I perform better than the time before? And you can also look back at a game and go, what did I do wrong? What did I do right? And how can I do better? Like, can I kill more creeps? Did I not last hit well enough? Anyone who knows the games will know what I'm talking about. Anyone who doesn't, sorry. But, should I have dove the tower this time to get that guy? He wouldn't have gotten away, and I could have probably lived. This sort of like analysis, like you can look back on a game and find specific moments where things that you did played a role in the outcome of the game. And whereas PlanetSide Persistent doesn't really have that, and the battles are so large that one person really doesn't matter. As weird as to say that, it doesn't. Sure, yeah, having more people matters, but there's not this sort of individual aspect that keeps me as a player wanting to log in and be like, I'm going to try and do this time. So what do I think they can do to make it better? Well, just lopsided gameplay. In theory, just in general, I feel like a lopsided gameplay fix could be a dynamic spawn timer. So if you're on the team with fewer people, your spawn time is going to be faster than the team with more people in order to effectively give you more bodies. And I feel like defensively, at least, this would be huge. Offensively, yeah, you're going to be flooding, you're going to be zerging a bit more that way. But you still have the ability as defense to kill the Sunderer. So it's not, I don't feel like it's super bad offensively. Defensively, I think it would be huge. It would make those defensive stands a little more, you'd be able to keep them from getting into that camping situation, which is so easy to get into when you outnumber the team 2-1. It's not very challenging. And that's another part, is when that situation occurs, it's either way too challenging because you're the one being outnumbered, or it's too easy and it's kind of boring. And then that kind of goes into my feeling insignificant of battle. When there's so many people, it doesn't, I killed 8 guys and died once. Ooh. And then there's just not enough things for a battle of 200 people at a tech plant or BioLab, amp station, where you have one capture point and then a handful of generators. The amp station is the amp station 4 tech plants 2? Something like that.
What's that? Amp station has 4 gens.
One has 4, the other has 2. The amp station has 4 because you got the walls. And the tech plant has 2 because there's no walls around it, right? Yeah, okay. So, because you have the tank ones and the vertical and horizontal. So, basically, when you have, that's 5 objectives for 100 people to fight over. And yeah, you can get some big battles, but it's not enough for a single individual to go in there and feel like they made a difference. And there's no way of measuring that. Yeah, they might have thrown a concussion grenade that let you get in there and take the generator, but there's no sense of that, I guess. There's no sense of feeling that a player did that. And I feel like these bases are big enough, they could have 5 to 7 capture points and more generators, that maybe more shield generators that allow you to capture certain capture points so that offense doesn't have too much of an advantage. There's a bit of a warning, they're going to get that point because that generator is going down. So defensive, you can work on it. And yeah, it would take more strategy, but the bases are huge, and there's all these buildings surrounding some of these that are just useless. They're just empty buildings, and people hardly even go into them unless they're trying to escape from a Liberator or a tank. And so it's just, I feel like there could be more objectives to spread the battle out, and individuals could feel more important in the battle. And I'm not trying to be like some stupid hippie where everyone needs to feel happy and important. It's just what keeps people playing a game. When you play a game, if you feel like your role matters, you're more likely to come back and play that game. But if you're like, I played, but it didn't really matter that I was playing, what's the motivation to come back and try and get better at the game? What's the motivation to come back and make yourself a person that people like playing with, other than, I'm friendly? And so they aren't easy things to fix, but I don't think retaining players is an easy task. So you're going to have to do not easy tasks to retain players. I don't think there's a simple solution. If SOE's happy with the size of their player base, then they can ignore me. But if they want it to grow, I feel like they're going to have to do something to make players want to re-log into the game. And I think it can really come down to, does a player have these sort of reasons to come back and log in? Do they have a reason to try and focus on getting better?
Yeah, we can hear you now, man. Sorry, we just got Odin back, everybody. He had some issues, so we're
right as my rant ended.
Basically during Tom's rant, he was not available, which may be a good or bad thing. I don't know, but that being said, I mean, I don't know what to say to that, but I think
that's just what I realized after having not played for many weeks. I've been playing lots of League of Legends. And that, in my head, after playing for a couple hours, I was like, that's why I haven't been playing. Because after a couple hours, I performed exactly the same as I did 4 weeks prior.
Yeah. Yeah,
According to my KDR, I didn't, and I felt like it wouldn't have mattered if I was there.
I can see your input or your point of view from it. I don't know if I agree if that's the reason. When I take a break, if that's the reason or not. I'll have to think about your points, but yeah, I don't know. I don't have a lot to say about it, and unfortunately, Odin didn't hear most of it. So
I was going to say, can you just TLDR it for me? I'm sorry.
Basically, I feel like there's not enough objectives at bases. There are, at the bigger bases at least, and long and lopsided fights make gameplay feel meaningless, and there's not real incentive or measure for players to feel like they've gotten better at the game and they've played a role towards victory other than they had more people on their team.
Well, I mean, to that, I would say, I guess it really depends on the biggest factor of whether you're going to, people play the game for different reasons. Some play it for content, others play it for other reasons. And for me, yes, since we've had the optimization patch coming down the pipe for, the last 2 or 3 months now, and we haven't had any new content, the people that
doesn't help.
So the people that rely on that content to maintain their interest in a game, they're going to feel left out in the cold. Personally, on a personal level, I mean, I don't play this game necessarily for the content. I mean, it's nice. I play it because I really like the guys that I run with. I love the Dread Legion. I love our outfit. I love the experience that I have when I play with the group of people that we have. So, I play because of the relationships that have developed throughout the game. And, we enjoy playing PlanetSide, but we really enjoy PlanetSide more when we're playing it together. And that's, so, I mean, some people who don't play it for that reason, and they're like, I keep fighting over these same bases over and over and over again. Yeah, I mean, that might seem a little stale, but the trick for us is how do we keep it fresh, okay? What do we do?
That kind of goes into my whole, if SOE is happy with the community size as it is and the community as it is, then they can ignore me. But if they want more players, they're going to... Not players... I mean, what? We were talking earlier. 50% of players aren't in outfits?
Yeah.
I mean,
and those are the people that... And those are the people that see...
Yeah, more players
that you see in your position.
Say that will get bigger, if you ask me.
Yeah.
If the game becomes popular, you'll have fewer players in outfit.
Yeah. They're doing more. I mean, it sounds like they're reaching out into other markets like China and Russia and Brazil and stuff like that they're getting new servers on and trying to, start up some more international interest. But yeah, you're right. I mean, for those people who aren't in outfits, and for any of you who are watching, that's the number one thing you got to do is join an outfit, because it makes it's night and day difference in how you play the game. It's night and day experience. And so, we as the Dread Legion, I mean, for us, yes, I mean, we are very active. I mean, compared to a lot of other outfits, we have guys who, get on 4, 5, 6, 7 days a week. And compared to a lot of other outfits, that's very active in terms of player base. So how do you, for those guys who spend 20 hours a week playing the same game at these same bases, how do you keep that level of interest? And, so we do various things. We get, we do operations, we do scrimmages. We just had one yesterday against Cash and Outfit X that we were gearing up for and stuff. And so you get these long-term goals for the outfit, like I've given our guys some initiatives that we'd like to do. And, you make them feel like they're part of something bigger. And that's how, we keep it interesting. Now, if you're not part of an outfit, then you don't have any of those outlets, and you're like, man, this is the 20th time I've fought at the Crown today. I can definitely see that it could definitely get a little stale, but it's up to, while SOE is working on the back end stuff, it's really up to...
I don't think it's even a matter of being stale.
Come up with that.
Because I'm comparing it to League of Legends, where I play on the same 2 maps, because I play ARAMs, it's fun. But I play on the same 2 maps. I can do that all day. It's the same thing, the same role. And my point there is when I play, I can look back on the game and be like, did I get better or worse? Did I do better or worse than last time?
I think we're...
Can I get better? So we're killing it. I think we're probably good.
I think we're getting into the realm of personal preference at this point. So, With that being said, let's get to good, bad, and OP.
Have another drink on me, soldier.
Okay, thank you kindly.
If you can look hard enough past all the death and all the sorrow, there are good things. You must remember that we will overcome the good, the bad, and the overpowered.
Alrighty. My good for the week is I had a good time with my boys. Took them to the pumpkin patch and we made some Halloween costumes and they beat me up with little light up swords and we got some pumpkins and they rode on a train and blah, 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 blah. It was a lot of fun. Took them out and they really thoroughly enjoyed themselves. So I had a great time this weekend doing those activities with them. My bad was I didn't have time this last weekend because of all that to participate in the 24-hour stream with 666 and a number of other outfits for breast cancer awareness. And I fully support that endeavor, so I really wish I could have made that. I kind of felt bad about that. So, Noxx, on to you.
Well, my good is that I played, finally, again. Had a fun time. And that was cool. I'm back this week. That's also good. My bad is, I had a really crappy week. But I realized why I didn't log in. We'll put it that way. That's the best way to make it.
Okay. Odin, do you have a good and bad possibly for this week?
Yeah, good for me was yesterday. If you guys didn't see it, Kid Riot actually streamed a scrim that the Dread Legion faced off against Cash, Genocidal Rampage, and Outfit X. It's all Connery outfits, but I was really proud of both how the Dread Legion performed. I thought we did really well, and I thought that Outfit X and Cash, despite a lot of connection issues, performed really well. And I thought that, Kid Riot, for popping his casting cherry, did a pretty decent job as well. So I was really proud of how we performed and how we prepared for the scrim, and I think that we'll definitely be doing more of those. So that was my good. I was really proud of our guys. The bad, I had to go to the funeral for my grandma the other day, which was no fun. She was my last grandma, so end of an era on that end. Yeah, end of an era on that front. But overall, I think that the good is more recent and it's more fresh in my mind. So I was really proud of our guys and going forward. OP, man, NC Maxes the other day fighting them.
We don't usually do OP, but you can rage about that. That's fine.
Fighting. I mean, they did. We were in a lot of close quarters battles, and within 10 meters, I don't want to see or feel another shotgun ever again. And they really did. And going back to the scrim, that's kind of all over my mind right now because of of how much time I put into it. But they smoke grenades all over the place. Hate smoke grenades. OP. Don't use them. I don't want to see them again. Don't want to hear them again. It's useless. So that's from me. But sounds like you guys had a lot more real life stuff, which sounds like more fun.
Well, I think we all had some stuff. I'm sorry to hear about your grandma.
Yeah, it's all right. Thanks, man.
Let's get to the enjoyable calls of the week.
Oh, it's a perfect morning. Great timing. The mailman's just coming.
Morning. Here's the mail. Big bag.
It must be ready to get away. Very strange. It's the speaking sound. Going to take a look here in this bag of mail. Oh no!
Now you just open the ReachCast mail bag.
Alrighty. The first bomb, aka call we have for the night, is from Derringer.
Greetings, faithful ReachCast listeners. This is Derringer. I offer my sincerest apologies for missing this week's episode. Instead, I am attending a screening of a documentary titled The Bridgewater Triangle. For those curious, The Bridgewater Triangle is a 200 square mile area in southeastern Massachusetts with a long history of strange paranormal activity, and I happen to live inside of it. Rather than leave you all heartbroken, here are my good and bad regarding PlanetSide 2 from last week. First, my good. Hats off to the Devil Dogs, TRG, Cash, OP4, and friends who ran the 24-hour gaming marathon to support breast cancer research. They raised over $1,500 for a cause that is near and dear to me. Sorry I couldn't be there. Saturday was just far too busy for me. For my bad, I'm sad to say that I ran some tests comparing my frames per second on live versus test, and am sadly unhappy to report that I gained 0 FPS. That's right, 0 FPS. I can only hope that the next round of optimizations will benefit me much better than this round did. That's all I have to say, so stay classy, and remember, Venu strong.
Do you like that music? It's this
awesome.
King Pompous
Was he in,
music.
like a Ren fair or something?
Oh, it's King Pompous music, and he even had King Pompous voice tone the whole time too.
Yeah, we call Derringer King Pompous for a lot of reasons in the show, and he was. And
After hearing that call, I know, right?
Alrighty, the next
Wait,
the next call.
He's got
Sorry, go ahead.
ghosts in his house. I need to hear about. I want to see this documentary.
So because he has ghosts in his house, he didn't come on the show today? What?
He's going to some sort of screening. I don't even know what that's all about. I've never heard of
documentary
it.
on ghosts.
Well, it sounds like what's the name of that triangle in the ocean?
Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, it's like the Bermuda Triangle of the East Coast. And
No, the triangle's like airplanes and boats crashing. This is like ghosts. It's paranormal activity.
pretty sure Bermuda Triangle is more generic and about paranormal activity.
Paranormal.
Not just stuff crashing.
Wow.
I'm gonna look.
Well, good. I mean, it gave me the opportunity to listen and then crash halfway through and then listen some more, so that was perfect.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to understanding why Mark is so messed up. And I guess this will be
Look,
a good
it says where a number of aircraft and ships have said disappeared. It doesn't say
disappeared. Sounds paranormal to me.
That's called crashing.
I mean,
But
what if they're
The
stolen?
thing about it is they've never
guess-
found the shipwrecks.
Have you seen the Ancient Aliens where they talk about it and they say that there's a wormhole?
Don't even get me started. I'm like, how is the History Channel talking about aliens? There's no history anywhere.
I love that guy.
Oh.
I love that guy. He's like,
there's a wormhole in the Bermuda Triangle and that these planes are getting sucked into another universe.
I'm like, the History Channel is talking to me about conspiracy theories. I'm like, how is this? Okay. GG,
Yeah.
guys.
that guy is hilarious. This is his hair
Aliens.
every time. His hair just gets more and more screwed up every time he does a show. It
Yeah.
seems like.
If you answer the question in a certain way, the
I love how
answer
it's.
is found yes.
Yeah, I love how it's always ancient aliens. It's never modern aliens or anything like
Yeah.
that. It's always the ancient ones.
They just disappeared for a while. They never
Yeah.
came back. I don't know what
Yeah,
happened.
they just got bored with us, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. So next call we have is from Wolf, and here we go.
What's up, ReachCast? Wolf07 here. Alright, so last week, one of you mentioned that I'm a vampire, and I'm simply gonna say, no, I'm not a vampire, I'm a wolf. So, yeah. Anyways, so last week I mentioned nighttime and how it should be darker, and I forgot to mention that I want it darker because it would make bells more dynamic. But this week, I'm gonna put out another good idea to make bells more dynamic, which I might have copied from a game or might have not copied from a game. Still deciding. Anyways, so one major thing about Hossin that I really think SOE missed the nail with would be the fact that it's watery, alright? So why can't we swim on Hossin? I mean, imagine how awesome it would be if we could swim on Hossin and maybe even dive under the water. Hint hint, might have copied a certain game. Whatever. Alright, might have dived under the water and maybe even they could make like a base, like a sunken amp station or a sunken BioLab, half sunken, and just swim into the BioLab instead of entering the classic way. Also, that would make vehicles more dependent on other vehicles and infantry. Maybe we could place bridges for the vehicles to pass, or maybe even later on, as we could add ravine boats or something like that, so they would put miniature naval combat into the game. So yeah, what do you guys think about this? Because I think it's a pretty awesome idea, but SOE really needs to make it perfect. And with this game, if this was in the game, we could be pretty close to blowing Battlefield 4 out of the water. Hint, hint, might have copied this idea from it. Anyways, this is Wolf07 saying, fight for Miller TR, fight for the good fight. Bye-bye.
Calls.
No.
Swimming would be hard. I bet you they don't have any water mechanics.
They've talked about the whole, why is everybody out of Raxus allergic to water scenario before, and they said just the amount of code that they need to just write from scratch would be astronomical already. And they've talked about, they've talked about adding naval combat, with adding the new continents and intercontinent lattice and stuff like that. And they've talked about down the road adding naval combat and stuff like that, but we're talking years, because just the amount of back end stuff they'd have to do would make it almost impossible. So if they're gonna do water, it's gonna be a long way out. So just from the performance perspective.
Yeah, it's kind of got the same tone. No, here's hoping for naval battle within the next year.
Oh,
yeah.
And he definitely is on Team Jacob.
Yeah. I thought, he was talking about darker nights and stuff. The PTS actually does already have darker nights already. I was noticing that I couldn't see a darn thing at all during the scrim last night without the NV scope and stuff. So the Vanu should be happy. Yay. Good for that. So.
Yeah.
Couldn't see
Yeah, I know the Vanny wrote my nemesis at night. Anytime it turns dark, I'm like, well, great, I can't see a third of my enemies, or half of my enemies. So, all right, next call we have is from Pine Tree Road.
Hey guys, Pine Tree Road here. Last time I called, I had a bit of a brain fart, so I'm going to try this again. My answer to your question about the special anniversary surprise for November is a far-fetched theory that we're going to get dynamic weather. T-Ray made a post on the Player Studio forums asking for creators to make helmets and camos that will quote-unquote help me survive the harsh winters on Esamir. Quote, a long, dark winter is coming to Esamir and our players need to be prepared. End quote. I think that's pretty clear, saying that we're going to get something for Esamir in the coming months, weeks, soon. I guess this post is going to be removed November 20th, so before then, all of this has to be submitted. So that is my little dream and hope. Like to hear your guys' thoughts on it. Love the show. Thanks.
That would be interesting if they were like, oh, we're just working on performance. Haha, tricked you. We have weather now.
Yeah. I think that'd be really cool. I mean, it would spice things up in terms of dynamics. If you have like a sandstorm on Endar that grounds all aircraft and stuff like that. But I've always thought it'd be really cool to have, almost not necessarily like an NPC type thing, but almost where the environment of Araxis or comes and almost like fights you and stuff, or you have to worry about the environment as well as the other factions, or they have literally like a fourth faction that comes in and everybody, for the next 2 hours you have to fight the invaders and stuff, and so you have NC fighting with TR and Vanu for a couple hours, and I thought that would be really interesting, but I don't know, I think I'm probably in the minority with that. So if it was weather, that'd be cool, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'd like to see like lightning or thunderstorms where planes got above a certain altitude. They have like a really likely chance to be struck down by lightning. That'd be awesome.
No more scythe. Poof.
Yeah, scythe poof, just in the air, just explode. They kill you, and then like anything around you just like bounces off and destroys it as well.
I don't know. What do you guys think? You think what about artillery strikes? You think artillery strikes might be it?
I guess we have talked about, but the way they described implementing those was strongly related to changes coming along with Hawson, but they may be disconnected.
Could it be Hawson? Could it just be Hawson coming out? Could that be it?
It said that we've been, if I remember the quote correctly, so we've been wanting this since the release.
Oh,
whatever this is, and I don't think Hawson is.
No.
Well,
was it
knows?
released or for a while?
He says forever and a day or something. I don't remember exactly the quote. It's been for a long time.
T-Ray, how many times? He's Mr. Exaggeration.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I lost my internet when you guys were talking about this, so I don't know if you had already mentioned that. But yeah, I mean, could it just be Hawson? Could that be it? Are we making something out of nothing here?
It's the 28th, right? I mean, we're going to find out in a week.
50% boost.
For
6 months. I think it's 6 month boost.
Really?
Maybe.
They just did that not that long ago.
Yeah, but everyone's alpha squads were still going then. And now the alpha squads have all expired. And so people are wanting boosts.
I think another double XP weekend would be really cool. I mean, more than
all
station
month,
cash.
Double XP all month.
That'd be sick. That'd be a lot of fun. I mean, I don't know if we've had the entire community pining for it or anything like T-Ray's been saying, but I think it'd be cool.
Like I said, he's Mr. Exaggeration.
Last call we have is from Ak.
Hey guys, Ak here. I hadn't called in a while, and wanted to comment on something that Derringer brought up on this past week's show about them making the game not as aesthetically pleasing as, for optimization. I was just wondering what you guys thought. I kind of think the game moves so fast anyway that we don't really get to see the aesthetics as much as we probably have in the past. And if we get performance out of it, then so be it. So just wanted to hear what you guys thought about it. Another comment or question I have for you guys is how hard do you think it is to start over in the game? Like switching to a new outfit or to a different faction? I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.
Alright, starting over, I guess I'll answer that first. I started over a guy for Goater, and all I'll have to say is it really sucks not having Claymore for my medic and everything else under the sun that I would really love to have. So yeah, it sucks in my opinion, starting over.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how far you've come before you start over. I'm level 77 right now, and starting over from that would really suck. But I started over. I actually started on Waterson as a Vanu, and I switched over when I was like level 10 or 11. So, and that really didn't matter much at all because I was still a noob at that point. So it really depends on when you're switching. But and it probably also depends on if you still have boosts and if you have stuff like that to just, ramp up those levels pretty quick. Because we've had guys in the Dread Legion that have switched over from other factions and stuff like that, and they're, they haven't seemed to have too much problems with it. So it just depends. What was the other question they had? He said the starting over, and what was the other one?
Well, you said, what do we think about... So last week, Derringer made the comment a lot. With their optimization efforts, they've kind of taken some of the individuality and, quote, prettiness out of bases. They've replaced some items with items that are the same as others in the area for optimization reasons. And he was concerned that they're unprettifying the game for optimization reasons. And honestly, I don't give a flying fuck. It just doesn't... It doesn't... You can't see any difference from one...
so long without cursing.
I know. I don't know why that set me off, but if I'm looking at one ammo crate versus another ammo crate with a different I don't give a shit. I really don't. It just doesn't matter to me. Like, I'm shooting at the person anyways. There's no difference in my opinion.
A couple of things to that. I mean, how many people, like the percentage of the player base actually is able to have the computer that can run max settings on everything? I know I don't. I'm running on medium to low for most stuff anyway, so I'm not getting the beautiful game that even the devs want us to see. And even then, I mean, it's never going to be as visually stimulating as, like a Battlefield or a Call of Duty or a, something like that. So, I mean, that's not what PlanetSide is about. Like, I don't play PlanetSide because, ooh, that tree looks so cool, So as far as that, I mean, yeah, for some people it may be an issue, but I think it's a pretty small percentage, honestly.
I really think that most of the player base doesn't care about
because most people don't see it anyway.
Yeah, it just doesn't. I don't think it really matters to a lot of people.
I think most of these
but that's opinion,
in the game deal with the lighting because that's where this engine really shines. And so, what does a box matter if it's the same?
I don't think it does. Well, we have a couple emails as well. First one was from B Postal. It says, first off, thank you for reading my email. Torkz, after listening to your comment, this is my comment from last week. After listening to your comment, I have checked out Cookie Clicker, and that is the main reason you're receiving this email on Saturday and not Wednesday.
What is Cookie Clicker?
It's a horrible game. Don't. There's an appeal in watching and manipulating those numbers. I totally agree, dude. He says also, he put a link in for the PS2 UK TV advertisements. I'll put that in the show notes as well if you guys want to watch it. They're showing ads not just in the just not in the US, and they are in a very select markets. So I guess the UK is doing TV advertisements for PS2.
Why do you think that they're not that they're only doing it in the UK and not in the US?
Well, it's two separate.
Costs too much here.
No, it's two separate entities entirely. So you have
ProSieben or whatever. What are they called?
ProSieben is basically an entirely separate company. They just are allowed to release the games of the whatever you want to call it, the mother umbrella. You want to call it the parent company, but ProSieben is an entirely different company. They handle things in an entirely different way than the American version of SOE or whatever. So it's just they just do things differently for better or worse. I don't know if that's there's a lot of EU presence in this game, and I wonder if they take a look to see how successful ProSieben is versus the American side.
The EU has a much richer history of FPS love, and
sure.
It's probably cheaper.
It might be, yeah. I have no clue whatsoever as far as costs and like TV advertisements between the two. So, he said in reference to the question of this week, he says, "What is the special anniversary surprise for November?" He says, "Double Station Cash, all effing month." Boom. So
he's trying to get all like, what's that dude's name?
Plow!
The cook dude.
Yeah.
Emerald.
Kick up a notch.
He's getting all emerald on us. Alright, so I got another email from Shilas.
I want to say real quick before you read this is possibly one of my favorite emails I've seen in the show for like months. So.
Alright, Shilas says, "Verily I say unto thee, the people of Araxis shall be redeemed by the Cloaked One. He shall ride upon a pale flash and carry an SMG. The Book of Murda, Chapter 6, Verse 9.
I don't know why I thought that was so funny, but I could not stop laughing after I read that. I was just laughing so hard. He shall ride upon a pale flash and carry an SMG. It's just totally murder.
Shall be redeemed by the Cloaked One.
Cloaked One.
He gave it a chapter and verse.
Oh, man.
That's fantastic.
We lost Odin again, and with that, we're going to go ahead and go to the contact info.
Hey, let's thank him.
We definitely want to thank Odin's Pride for coming on the show tonight. Through his tribulations of his internet connection.
I say unto thee.
We really appreciate him coming on. And the contact info, as always, our website's reachcastshow.com. Our email is reachcastshow@gmail.com. You can call us at 415-787-3224 or record something and send it in via email. Twitter. So the show's Twitter is @ReachCastShow, just like it sounds. My Twitter is @ReachCastTorkz. Tom?
I'm at Noxia, and I'm looking up Odin's here.
Oh, hold on. Odin's back.
There he goes. Yeah, I don't know what... I need to call Comcast and send them hate mail, I think.
Well, you actually got back on just the right time.
Sorry, guys. I apologize.
No, it's all good.
To listeners and to you guys.
You got back on just the right time. So, why don't you give us a full breakdown on the Dread Legion and all your contact info and media and etc.
Yeah, the Dread Legion, we're still relatively young. We started in June 1st, me along with another person, Cool Kid 69. We spent long nights and TeamSpeak sessions coming up with what we wanted and what we didn't want in terms of an outfit. We were part of the high command of a different outfit and just decided that, we wanted to do things our own way. And afterwards, we took a few people with us from that outfit that felt the same way we did, and we've just slowly built up from there. He does a lot of the back end stuff that I'm not necessarily well versed in, and I'm more of the, I guess you would call the face of the outfit. I do a lot more stuff like this. I'm the guy on Twitter, I'm the guy on forums and stuff like that. So it's a really good symbiotic relationship, and we've got a really great group of guys that play the game the way that that we feel the game should be played, which is, a close-knit core group of guys that really likes playing with each other and likes playing PlanetSide. And, we're ramping things up for the community clash. We consider ourselves not necessarily MLG pros or anything like that, but just a great group of guys that likes to play together and have a good time. We have a website. If you want to go to thedreadlegion.engine.com, you can check that out. We also have an SOE forum post, a Reddit, YouTube channel, stuff like that. So we're all over the place, but yeah, if you have any questions, we have a Twitter as well at the Dread Legion, and you can message me there. But in terms of thank yous, I want to thank you guys for allowing me to come on and hang out with you guys. I've had a really great time. I'm looking forward to the Community Clash meeting tomorrow at 8 o'clock Central. Other than that, any questions you guys have about the Dread Legion, or any questions that your viewers have, feel free to message us, and we'll be more than happy to contact you back.
Sounds good. I appreciate you coming on again, man. It's nice to have people from the community on that are interested in the game and hearing your guys' passion for it.
Yeah, I love this. I'd love to come back. Derringer can take a back seat and, he can be my understudy or something. That's fine. It's all right. King Gunner, whatever. But, no, I had a great time. I think I would have had way more time if I wasn't pulling my hair out over this internet connection issue, but, hopefully you can just edit all that out and we'll pretend like it never happened, right?
Let's hope, yeah.
So we'll do round 2 next time. I'll probably be seeing you guys more in the future, and we'll be working together in terms of, I think that in terms of the Dread Legion, we really appreciate what you guys do for the community and are really supportive of everything that you do. And so thank you from the community. I don't know if you guys hear it enough, but thank you for all that you guys do as well.
I appreciate it. Yeah, we do what we can. It's a fun game. You guys, a lot of people love this game a lot, so it's the least we can do. That being said, let's give a quick thank you to the rest of the crew that you don't hear on the show. Steve, Cliff, John, Jenny Boo, and Hamma. So thank you, and that's it for this week's show. Thanks again, Odin, and take care, everybody.
All right, adios, thank you.
That's right, Sergeant. You made the call. All right, soldiers. You've done a great job here today. Let's get our stuff and get the hell out of here. We hope to see you again on the next mission.